Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Middle Ground. Thank you for being patient. Life has been crazy, and there's so many different things moving at the same time. Plus, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic and a lot of other things. So, thank you for your patience. This episode, I want to talk about the Eclipse portal that we just moved through. I feel like a lot of people are thinking they need to make decisions right now when that's not necessarily true. I think every day we need to, actively be making decisions, actively be choosing how we want to behave, where we want to invest our time, our energy, our money. And of course, those little sort of micro decisions, those little daily decisions over time add up to big change. So if we're looking to establish new habits, new routines, a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of speaking, then of course we need to actively be deciding that in every moment. But I feel like there's a lot of tension or stress in the air around what's coming, around what's next. What does it look like? When does it arrive? How do I get there? How can I get there faster? And a lot of that comes from the discomfort of just being where we are. A lot of that comes from capitalism, society brainwashing us into thinking that we always need to be active. We always need to be going, or doing. And if I've learned anything over the last 5 days while I've been stuck in my house with the big C-19, which I had super mild symptoms, and I'm grateful for that. But everything is not going to fall apart if you rest. Everything is not going to fall apart if you rest. You're not going to miss out on opportunities. Well, first and foremost, you can't miss what is meant for you. Even if you think you missed it, it will come back around. Maybe not the exact opportunity or the exact person, but that energy, that vibration will come back around to find you, and you will not miss it. What's meant for you is always yours. What is not meant for you cannot stay. And I think as we go through these shifts, especially after Scorpio season, and realizing there are so many things that are not meant for us. There are so many things we thought we wanted or we thought we needed, but we don't. And maybe our ego tells us we do, or our habits tell us we do, or our addictions, dependencies, old programs tell us we do. But if you really sit at the core of who you are, you don't need much. I think before we start moving into this next chapter, let's even say into Capricorn season, which I believe is next, it's time to understand where we even want to go. There's been so much loss and purging and removal. And there's been a lot of great things that have also shown up, a lot of good lessons, maybe some big wins, abundance, expansion, all of those things are also present, especially if you're looking for them, especially if you're always coming from a place of gratitude. But there's been so much release and purging and clarity, especially now with Neptune stationed direct. The illusions are gone. We can no longer lie to ourselves about what we want, about who we are, about what we accept. We can no longer listen to the lies of others and tell ourselves, I think I'll stay. Or, I think I'll give them one more shot. Or, I think they can do better. I'm not saying that we shouldn't give people second chances, and I'm not saying that people don't sometimes deserve a second chance. I'm literally working through this right now, the relationship in my life. And if people want to show up and they want to actually do the work and they can clean up their side of the street, then I can clean up my side of the street and I can hold space and compassion and I can extend that grace to them and allow them to prove to me that they can step up, that they can level up, that they can put in the work. But once you show me, especially after that second chance has come around, that you're not fucking serious, then I'm not wasting my fucking time. And Neptune moving direct has showed me that I'm not stuck here. We are not stuck. We do not need to stay in connections that we don't want. We do not need to stay in situations where we are not respected or appreciated. We're moving towards boundaries and clarity and balance and abundance and self-respect and self-love. And if some people can't show up and really fucking show up and they can't hold their own, then why do I need to be here to hold space for you while you're trying to figure out your shit and you're not, putting in the effort and you're going to drag everyone else through the mud? Like, no, that idea that we can't find better, that we can't get a better job or a better relationship or a better friend or a better home, the idea that opportunity is scarce and that we're going to have to fight for it and that there's not enough for everyone, like, these illusions are dropping. These illusions are very quickly dissipating, and it's time for us to appreciate the new found vision that we are stepping into. And a lot of that is around our own power and divinity. And as we move through this eclipse season, and eclipses are accelerators, eclipses will bring to the surface your pain, your opportunity, your growth, your lack of growth. They will bring forward truth, reconciliation, opportunity for forgiveness and expansion, love and release. And you can decide what you want to do with that. But do we need to decide today? No. Especially not as we move into Sagittarius season, as we move through this mutable fire energy. This is a time for us to adjust. First and foremost, to adjust our belief systems, to stop thinking the other shoe is going to drop, to stop thinking the worst possible outcome. What if everything worked out in your favor? What if everything worked out in your favor and then some? What if the opportunities coming your way were so divine and expansive that you right now cannot even fathom what is coming to you because you've never experienced that level of joy or gratitude or love or appreciation of yourself, of what you have, of the balance you're finding, of speaking your truth, of finding your boundaries and owning your own vision, your own self, your own words. We don't have time to play small anymore. We don't have time to show up for people that are not showing up for us. But what we do have is time. We don't need to decide right now. We don't have all of the answers. And as we are moving through this Sagittarius season, Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, we're being asked to expand our vision and expand our dreams. We just had a new moon in Sagittarius, a new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius. If you haven't taken the workshop, you can find it on my website. It's donation-based, 30 minutes. It's a home video, extremely helpful. And this is an opportunity for us to just admire who we're becoming and to understand our divinity and our connection to source, and that we have all that we need, that we have access to everything that we need, and we need to stop fighting that. We need to stop fighting the idea that we don't. We need to stop fighting the idea that we're not good enough. We're fighting the idea that if we leave something behind, we're not going to find anything better. It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking illusion. And Neptune moving direct is now going to teach us that. We are not stuck in the dark. We are not stuck, and we are not of the dark. We are quite literally of the light. And yes, we have shadow aspects that we're learning to integrate and alchemize. And that's why we are at a pause. We are not stuck. We are at a pause. A chosen pause, a seemingly forced pause, but we are not stuck. When you are stuck, you are falling back into the victim mentality. You are not a victim. That is a fucking illusion. The illusions are gone. We are hitting pause so we can reevaluate what we want to build towards in Capricorn season. So be grateful for the pause. Be grateful for the timeout. Be grateful for the opportunity to rest and recalibrate. We have lost so much, released so much, learned so much. You need to recalibrate. You need a fucking minute to understand who you are now with what you've learned, who you are now with what you have, and who you are now with what you have not. This is an opportunity for us to dream big, to say, I've let go of all these things, I've understood myself in new ways, and where can this take me? Why would you want to build right now if you don't even know what you fucking are or where you want to go? Moving very slowly in the right direction is much better than moving very quickly in the wrong direction. So take a break, slow the fuck down, release the illusion that you need to be on, that you need to be going, that you need to be doing, and just allow. Allow the teams around you to fall apart and come together. Even the sun, from our perspective, takes a break. It cannot be shining all of the time, especially if you live in North America or the Northern Hemisphere where I live. I mean, yeah, I guess the closer to the top you get, the longer the days they have. Whatever, I'm not a fucking geography teacher. I'm just trying to make a point, and the point is you need to slow the fuck down. And sometimes we need to just accept the pause. This is a great time to expand your knowledge, your culture, your understanding of maybe language or of self. This is a great time to dive deep into the dream world and just think about all of the potential possibilities that are coming your way. This is a time to learn how to adapt from where you were and who you've been into where you're going and who you are becoming. So before we jump into that Capricorn season of building and structure, just pause and dream big about who you could be, about where you could go, and about what you could do. Because if this eclipse season and Scorpio season has taught us anything, it's that as we release and purge, the slate becomes clean. So before we build, let's get back to the drawing board. Move the energy, creatively move the energy in your mind with your visions, but you don't need to forcefully take action. Of course, if an opportunity comes up and you feel very called to take it, then go for it. But don't do just to do, because you're going to do yourself a disservice. Slow down. The answers will come. The opportunities will present themselves, whether they're from an outside person or an internal compass. I see reconnections coming forward. I see new teams coming together. I see contracts, clarity, coaching, rules, boundaries, specifics, details, gratitude, opportunity, and abundance. But first we need to pause. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that brings some medicine. I'm sending you love, and I will see you sooner than this time. I'm going to be recording a lot of episodes through December and January with a lot of guests and some questions from listeners and whatnot. So yes, the podcast content will be more consistent. I apologize. We also need to ensure that we have an American Sign Language accessible version online as well. So there's obviously added time needed for that as well. But these are all excuses. I also, you know what? I don't owe anybody fucking anything, and neither do you. So I'm releasing that illusion that this needs to be out at a certain time, that the horoscopes need to be up on the 1st, that like this is all free fucking content. And you know what? The people who donate and support my work, I absolutely love you. I'll try to put a link in the show notes for that. It's completely unnecessary. It really is, but I do appreciate it. Obviously, this is my job. But yeah, like you don't owe anybody fucking anything. And neither do I. So I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to say, here's another episode. And I plan on being more consistent with future episodes. But I'm also a human. So let's just leave it at that. Okay? I'm sending you love. And we'll talk soon. Ciao.